What is going on? It's Nate and we're back with another video. Today I'm talking about money. What is money? And understanding what it truly is. Oh wait. Oh well. Anyways, understanding what it truly is will allow you to understand how you can make more of it, have more of it, or why maybe you aren't making as much as you want to make, or you don't have as much as you want to have. And so today I've been really diving into what is money, right? So if you understand, like, all these different people, like, we're all really the same, but why do some people have so much, some have so little? And what is a lot? What is a little, right? What is a lot of money? What's a little bit of money? And so, okay, let's dive into it. So first things first, what is money? You have to realize that money is just energy, right? The same thing as everything else. Everything is all made of the same thing. It's just at different amplitudes of vibration, right? Everything is all made at the deepest level. It is all the same thing, but it has different vibrations, different frequencies, and that causes it to appear different. So you have to understand that money is energy, right? So if you want money, let me back up. If you understand that energy, right, you've all heard of law of attraction. You understand that like energy attracts like energy, right? So if you're a negative person, you're probably going to attract negative people. If you're a positive person, you're probably going to attract positive people. If you're in a bad mood, you're probably going to have bad things happen to you, right? We understand that we attract what we are in tune with. And then if you understand that money is energy, which means it's a vibration, then how are you going to get in tune with that? Oh, ambulance. How are you going to tune in to that frequency? Well, you have to understand what is it? Jeez. What is the frequency? We have to realize that money is energy that is exchanged for value. Sorry, there's a lot going on. Money is energy that is exchanged for value, right? So, and what value people want? People want emotion. So if you go and buy something, you buy it for the way it makes you feel, right? You don't care about the shirt, you care about the way it makes you feel. You don't care about the burger, you care about the way it makes you feel, or the way it tastes, right? You're going after an emotion. You're going after a satisfaction of some sort of emotional need that you have, or emotional desire, or whatever it may be, right? So if you understand that it's all based off emotion, money is based off emotion, then what is your emotion toward money? Can you say, I like money? Are you able to say that right now? Or does it feel awkward? Does it feel uncomfortable? Because so many people have criminalized money and they make it seem like some evil object. And the truth is, yes, if you make money if you think money is just your whole entire world, yeah, you're going to be empty. But it is good to like money, because money is how you live abundantly. If you don't have enough money, if you can't pay the bills, if you can't live comfortably, how are you going to be at a high frequency, at a high spiritual level, if you're in survival mode, right? So you realize that the highest frequency is God frequency, the highest level, right? So that's the emotion of like joy, gratitude, those emotions. And the lowest level is survival mode, right? So that's fear, worry. It's just trying to make ends meet, right? So if you don't have enough money, you're going to be living on the survival plane, because you're worried, you're fearing, you're like, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to eat dinner? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Right? So you're in survival mode. So you can't possibly be on the God frequency, on the high frequency, if you don't have enough money, right? So you understand that money is not a bad thing. In fact, if you don't have money, that's a bad thing. So you realize, okay, now we know money is a frequency, money is energy. We are energy as well, right? You know that we are just a mass of energy. We're a huge thing of energy. And you understand that like energy attracts like energy. So how are you going to tune in to the money frequency, right? And so let me give you another scenario. So if I got on my phone right now and I was to, transfer one of you guys money on Apple Pay, that money is being sent to you through what? How is it being sent to you? Through frequencies, right? Through waves. It is sent to you through electronic frequencies, or whatever the phone uses to transfer it from me to you. But it's literally just through thin air. No one outside of me, if they didn't know what I was doing, would have any idea I just transferred money, right? It literally is being transferred through the air to someone else. So in the same way, you can't see the money that's around you, because the same air where that $10 would be transferred is the same air, the same space where people are transferring billions of dollars, $1 billion deals, $1 billion transfers, $1 billion businesses. It's all in the same air. It's all in the same space. but you have to be on the frequency, right? So you have to also realize that money is currency. Why do they call it currency? Because it needs to flow. It's like a current. And then you understand, okay, well, where does the currency stop? It stops at the bank, right? The river banks, the banks of the river, the sides, right? And where does money stop here? Banks. So you realize, okay, money is going to stop flowing at the banks. If you hold it, it stops flowing. And it's a currency, right? So it wants to have current. It wants to flow. And if the money's in the air, the money's here, the money's around me, then how am I going to intercept that, right? And get on that frequency so that it can flow through me, right? And so you don't want to get money and cling on to it because you're stopping the current. So you're not flowing. You're not allowing it to have a current. You're not allowing it to be a currency. So okay, I just keep recapping. You understand that money is energy, right? So you have to forget, money is not paper, right? Money is not numbers on a screen. It's none of that stuff. Money is just energy, just like everything else, right? Yes, that is the manifestation of money, is that, right? The manifestation of money is the cash in your hand or the numbers in your bank account or whatever it may be. But what it really is it's energy, right? So it's the same as steam versus ice. Steam and ice are the same thing. They're both water. But steam you can't touch, right? You can't hold steam. It's in the air. Ice you can hold, right? So money is energy, the same way as, steam. It's the same thing. You can't grab it. It's in the air. You can't grab it. You can't hold it, but it's in the air. And what we have to do is we have to cause that to move into physical form by being this channel for it to flow through. So what you have to do is be like, okay, I want more money. So what do you have to do if you want to have more money? Then you need to be on that same frequency, right? You need to be tuned into it, same as your radio station. If you want to listen to a new song, you have to change the frequency, change the station. If you stay on the same station, you're not going to get new music, right? So how do you change your frequency? How do you go to this higher level? You have to become someone new, right? You have to become. So realize that money is the physical effect of who you are. Your bank account is the physical manifestation of who you are and the way you see yourself. So if you want to change the amount of money in your bank account, if you want to change the amount of money coming in, you have to change spiritually who you are. You have to become the person who has what you want to have. So if you want to make $100,000 a month, you have to become that $100,000 version right now. And you have to become so detached from it because you can see it here. And you understand, right? That what's real is like, it's the steam. It's what's in your mind. It's the intellectual and the spiritual world. That's what's real. That's what manifests here. That's what turns into the ice in the water. So if you want to attract the ice in the water, if you want to have the ice in the water in your hand, then you got to start with the steam. So you got to start in your mind. You got to start up here. It's that, okay, if I see myself this way, if I believe myself to be this way, if I feel this way, if I act this way, then I'll be on the frequency of the money, and guess what? The money will start to flow through you. It won't go around you. It won't go over your head. It'll go through you. You'll have the money, you spend the money. You have the money, you spend the money. Right? And I'm not saying you have to spend all your money. You should save and invest and all that, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. So you have to change who you are, because you get what you are. You don't get what you want. Right? Everyone wants more money. Everyone wants a nicer car. Everyone wants a new house, a bigger house, a better job. Everyone wants that. That's not what you get. You get what you are. And you are who you are inside, right? It's that heart. It's that spirit. The non-physical side of you is who you are. The side of you that lives when your body dies. That is who you are. So if you want to have more physically in the physical world, you can't try to change the effects in the physical world, right? So you have to realize, I know I'm bouncing all over the place, the physical world is an effect. The physical world is an effect. What is the cause? It's the spiritual world. It's your intellectual world. It's your imagination. It's the way you see things, the way you perceive things. It's the prayer. It's the meditation. That is what is real. That is the cause. The physical world is the effect. And so what people do is they want to make more money, so they try to work in the world of effects. Oh, let me work harder. Let me do more. Let me work more. Let me do this and that and this and that and the other thing. They're working in a world of effects, trying to change the effect. No one can change an effect by changing the effect. You have to change the cause if you want a new effect. And so I'm telling you right now, the cause for everything you have, money or not money, the cause for everything you have or don't have in your life is based on your intellectual and your spiritual side. It is the way that you see yourself. It is the way that you perceive yourself to be. It is the way that you feel. It is the way that you act. But it's not the actions you take, it's the feeling and the thoughts behind the action, right? So if this is the world of effects, then obviously the effects are going to be the least important. The physical stuff is the least important. What's important is the intellectual and the intellectual and spiritual side of things, and then you could pull that into the physical world. So what you have to do is you have to build out exactly what you want. Okay, money's a frequency, money is energy, energy is everywhere, energy is everything. The money is literally in the air. Bob Proctor was saying it in one of his videos, and I love it because it's stuck in my head. He said, money's in the air, money's in the air. And it sounds so silly, but here's the truth, Ready? Get ready for this. If I got a dollar bill right now in my hand and I burnt it, I lit it on fire and burnt it, the money's still here, it's just in the air. You can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't feel it, but it's here. It can't disappear. Nothing can be created or destroyed. It's here. So if I threw $1 million on fire and if I burned $1 million cash in my truck right now, it would still be here. I wouldn't be able to touch it. I wouldn't be able to feel it. My sensory faculties would not be able to tune into it, but it's in the air. And I'm not saying they burn money, but what I'm saying is the money's in the air. The way to get the money is in the air. The love is in the air. The money's in the air. The car you want's in the air. Everything's in the air because everything is frequency, and every frequency is readily available to every single person. We are all the same person. Why do you think you are supposed to treat others how you want to be treated? Because everyone around you is you pushed out. The way they treat you is you pushed out. The way they treat you is the way you think they are going to treat you. The way they act towards you is the way you perceive them to act towards you. Right? So you have to realize that everything, everybody, everyone, every situation is you pushed out. So if you want to change the effects, if you want to change the physical world, stop trying to change the physical world. You change the spiritual world. And you have to realize you can't have anything physically before you have it vibrationally. If you don't have the frequency, if you're not on the frequency, you cannot get it. You cannot get AM music if you are on FM radio. You cannot do it. You have to switch the station. You have to go to FM or to AM or to FM or to AM. You have to switch the station if you want different sounds. So if you want different music and you have to switch the station, if you want more money, you have to switch the station. And you switch the station through the spiritual and intellectual world, like I said. And so what you do is you create this version of you. What do you want? And you embody that version of you. You become that version of you. Not how do I get there? Not how do I get there? How do I make that much money? It doesn't matter how you get there. Only God knows that answer. I can't help you. I literally cannot help you at all. If you come to me and say, how can I make $100,000 a month? I would tell you, I don't have a clue. Because I can't save you. Only God can save you. Only God can show you the way. Only God can lead you in the right way to get the right opportunities, into the right jobs, the right house, the right city. I can't do that. Nobody can. No one physical can do that. Only God can do that. But God can't give you what you want if you are not already that. You cannot make $1 million if you've never been your millionaire self. If you've never seen the $1 million in your bank account. If you've never felt like a millionaire, you're not going to be a millionaire. If you walk around feeling broke, pitiful, and miserable, you're going to keep getting more broke, pitiful, and miserable, right? Like energy attracts like energy. So if you want more money, if you want to be on the abundance frequency, if you want more money in your life, you have to become someone who has more money in your life. You have to become someone who is a millionaire. You have to become someone who's rich, who's wealthy, who's abundant, who's prosperous. And how do you do that? You define what that means to you, and you say, this is who I am, and you live as that person. You have beliefs as that person, you have the attitude of that person, you have the imagination of that person, and you become that. Your free time should be spent seeing yourself that way. See yourself as your millionaire self. See the bank account, see the deposit, see the Venmo, however the money's gonna come to you, see it. Because I promise you, the money will not come if you don't see the money coming. You have to see it. You have to feel it. You have to believe it, and then it'll come. So just to recap, money is energy, and energy attracts like energy, and all energy is everywhere. Everything is everywhere. God is 100% evenly present in all places at all times. That means that everything is everywhere all the time. The way for you to make $100,000 is in the air, right here. I can see it. Well, I literally can't see it, but it's here. The way for you to get the car you want, it's in the air. I can't see it, but it's here. The way for you to get the job you want, it's in the air. I don't know how, but it's here. So the only way you're going to tune into that is by changing your station. You change your station by becoming who you want to be right now. I am this. I am a millionaire. And it's not enough to say I'm a millionaire. Oh yeah, where's the money? No. You live that. Your attitude, your beliefs, your actions, every part of you, it has to be, we live on 3 planes. The physical, spiritual, and intellectual. Right? So if you are only taking actions if you're only taking actions, you're not going to change anything. If you're only meditating, you're not going to change anything. But it's when you combine all 3 planes. You do your meditations. You see yourself as that person. You are that person in your head. You take the actions as that person. That's when you get it. If you don't have all 3 planes, you're not going to get it. Simple as that. So you become who you want to be on all 3 simultaneous planes that we live on, and then you can have it. The money's yours. Everything that you want is yours. Everything is yours. Catch you guys in the next one.